You have done the research. You've listened to the podcasts, read the books, bought the supplements, tried the diets. You probably already know what your root causes are. You can list them all. Side note, if you don't know that yet, go down to the show notes and get Hashimoto's Decoded. But you still might not know what to do with all of that information when something new comes along. Maybe a friend recommends a practitioner, an ad appears for a new protocol, or somebody recommends a new supplement, and then you freeze. Knowing about root causes does not necessarily give you a filter, it just gives you more information to sort through. And that is the problem this episode is solving. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune condition. That means your immune system is attacking your thyroid. But knowing that is only the beginning. This summer series is built in 3 phases. Phase 1 was understanding what's happening in your body. Phase 2 is learning how to think about what you're learning. And phase 3 is building your own personal discernment framework with support. So most women with Hashimoto's have a lot of information. What they're missing is a filter, a way to evaluate what applies to them specifically. That is what this series is now designed to give you. If you want to start with a foundation, check with the show notes for Hashimoto's Decoded, new name, Hashimoto's Decoded, Thyroid or Immune. In less than 1 hour, I will walk you through the most common root causes and help you identify where to focus. My name is Esther Yunkin. I'm a registered nurse, holistic health educator, and the host of this podcast, Health with Hashimoto's. I believe your health is a blend of 5 interconnected areas: body, mind, spirit, diet, and environment. Let's work through this together. So yes, there is a brand new name. In fact, I'm renaming a couple things in my offers because I just found out that there is a very well-known program, well-known person in the Hashimoto space, and one of her programs has the exact same name. So I didn't want any confusion about whose work was whose. So I really dug down deep to figure out, what am I actually teaching? And the answer I kept coming back to was deeper than root causes. I've been talking about root causes for a long time, but root causes are just the starting point. What I actually teach you comes after you understand your root causes. Obviously, I'm helping you understand your root causes. That is what Hashimoto's Decoded is all about, figuring out your personal root causes in less than an hour. But I also teach you how to think about your Hashimoto's so that you can evaluate anything and everything that comes your way. And that is discernment. And so the new name of the root cause reset is switching to Hashimoto's discernment coaching, because I want you to be able to have the ability to see if something is for you or not for you. And that is discernment. So discernment in this context of Hashimoto's means having a personal filter. It means knowing enough about your own body, knowing your root causes, knowing your patterns, knowing enough that you can evaluate any new information against a specific situation rather than general. Like, a Facebook ad doesn't know you. You know you. So what does discernment look like in real life? Well, here are 3 different examples. The first one I feel like I encounter all the time. The social media algorithms, I just get fed protocols and supplements and parasite cleanses. So you probably get this too. Whether it's a personal friend or whether it's an ad, you might see a supplement. This is really good for you if you have Hashimoto's or if you have this symptom. Without discernment, you might feel guilty for not trying it, or you might try it. But with discernment, you absolutely know which of your root causes it addresses. You will know if it's relevant to your situation, and you can also figure out what questions to ask a practitioner if you have further concerns. Example 2. A new diet. So I have a lot of episodes about diet, and you might talk to a friend. She says she's had Hashimoto's for a really long time. She went dairy-free and it reversed her symptoms. Without discernment, you might overhaul your diet, or you might dismiss the claim. With discernment, you know if dairy has shown up as a trigger for you specifically. Now, obviously, this is if you have gone through some sort of testing period, and we do that in my Hashimoto's discernment coaching. that is just, it's one of the phases we go through. And if you listened to the new AIP episode with Mickey Trescott, you learned about testing your diet with the autoimmune protocol. You have learned about that. With discernment, you can implement it. And you know when somebody's talking to you about a specific dietary protocol, you know if it will work for you or if it's something that you should experiment with. Let's not do this all or nothing thinking. Discernment is being very particular of if it's going to apply for you. Example 3 would be a flare up. Now, I did an episode I think it was the first 10 episodes, because I had no idea what somebody meant by a flare or a flare up. And so I explained it back in those early episodes. A flare up is some symptoms or maybe one symptom getting worse for you. So maybe your brain fatigue, your brain fog, your brain is just so tired it can't think. Maybe it's coming back after a really good stretch of clear and quick thinking. Without discernment, you might be scared. You might be confused. You might be just flabbergasted and worried. But with discernment, you can run through your own checklist. You can think through, what's been going on for my sleep, my stress, my food. Where am I in my menstrual cycle? You're not guessing, you're investigating based on what you know. So the commonality in these 3 examples is not necessarily data. It's not necessarily knowledge. It's about how you apply that knowledge. It's knowing yourself well enough to ask the right questions. It's knowing your experiences, your past, your root causes enough to guide you to implement new things. That is discernment. Discernment is the ability to see if something is for you or not. The filter that kicks in when you get new information or, somebody wants to help you with whatever helped them. Instead of guessing, you will know, is this actually going to help me? And now here's some nuance. I'm not saying that discernment is having a magic crystal ball where you can see the future and know exactly everything that will work or will not work. You're still going to have to do some experimenting on yourself, but discernment gives you a really good filter about knowing if something is worth investigating, worth trying or not. So I am pivoting the summer series a little bit, as you've probably noticed already from this episode, because I realized it's kind of silly for me to do a full episode on each root cause when I already go into depth on each root cause in HASHIMOTO'S Decoded. It's already available for you. All you have to do is click the link. And in less than an hour, you're going to get all of that information. So yeah, we're not going to do an episode on every single root cause, even though I said we were going to do that. I said we were going to do an episode on iodine. So maybe I guess I'll do that in the fall. But it's in HASHIMOTO'S Decoded. So drop down to the show notes and you can click the link and go through HASHIMOTO'S Decoded. Because I don't want to just give you a list to check off in the free podcast episodes. I want to give you the material for your own discernment framework. So each episode can add to your picture of what might be driving your symptoms. And that is the point of the episodes going forward. Not necessarily information accumulation, but pattern recognition for your specific situation. So I have 2 options for you depending on where you are. So option A is if you are still in the understanding phase, trying to figure out what is going on, what led to you being here, what is leading to your symptoms. HASHIMOTO'S Decoded is the place to start if you are in this place. In HASHIMOTO'S Decoded, you're going to figure out your root causes, you're going to figure out what's leading to your symptoms. HASHIMOTO'S Decoded is foundational to pretty much everything we talk about. If you have already been through HASHIMOTO'S Decoded, option B is for you. If you know your root causes, then let's figure out how to build that filter to get that discernment, because that will guide you. That will help you go through life figuring out if something is for you or not for you. So that coaching is 6 sessions designed to help you build the framework. Links to both of those, HASHIMOTO'S Decoded and HASHIMOTO'S Discernment Coaching, those links are down in the show notes. You can just click the link. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. Please discuss any changes with your trusted healthcare provider. To take your next step, join our school community and explore the courses available there. You do not have to figure your health out alone. So that is school, SKOOL.com, and it is the Health with Hashimoto's community. I'll see you next time on the Health with Hashimoto's podcast.